What is going on, people? Welcome to the Midwest Mike Sports Show. I'm your host, Mike Klean, and I am joined by the one, the only, and finally he's got a good hat on, Midwest Mike. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. It's been a little bit of a minute. I miss being on here
Yeah,
with you.
hell yeah, man. Yeah, I got back Monday at like 3, 4 in the morning. It's a 10-hour drive back from Arkansas. So
Mama mia, man. But
waited to
you got to
leave
see
and
that game. That's pretty freaking cool.
yeah, and then I waited to leave until after that Bills Vikings game, which was
Mhm.
insane. Well, probably one of the best NFL games of all time.
Yeah, no
I
doubt, dude.
mean, throw the betting part of it aside, it was
Yeah.
highly entertaining. That one-handed catch on 4th and 18 was absolutely insane.
Dude, Jefferson is the man. I mean,
Best
I know
best receiver in the league.
hands down. And the last couple shows you've been saying that the Vikings are frauds. I mean, what do you think, man? You think they're for real now, or you think the magic's going to run
Uh,
out?
I'm still not 100% convinced. Are they better than I thought? Maybe, yeah, but
Hmm.
they've been winning games they shouldn't have won, and it happened again. I mean,
Yeah.
they had two chances on 4th down, didn't convert. All the Bills need to do is snap the ball, run it a yard, and time goes out. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Just wear out the clock. And they got lucky again there. I know we backed the Dolphins versus the Vikings when the Dolphins had 500 yards to the Vikings 250.
Hmm.
That's happened in a few of the Vikings games, and that's concerning because you don't typically win games when you get outgained by double 500 to
No,
250.
exactly.
But just lucky ass turnovers, that Waddle fumble at the end, that bullshit fumble, and now the fumble by the center and Josh Allen in this game. But that's what I'm saying is that's how they've been winning some of these games.
Right.
Even the ones they have won, they're always close. So are they better than I thought? Yeah. Cousins on the road has always been concerning ever
Hmm.
since the week 2 blowout versus the Eagles. He has looked better.
Yeah,
Even,
yes.
I mean, he didn't look great in that Commanders game the week before, but um, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're better. The good thing is we're 2 wins away from cashing the 7-unit season win total. We got
Yeah.
over 9. That's a lock. I mean, that's where they're 8-1. But
Hmm.
they do have a tough schedule coming up. I'm a season ticket holder, and I know we got 3 home games in a row. We got the Cowboys Sunday, and then we got the Patriots on a Thursday night, and then we
Hmm.
have the Jets the week after. So maybe not as much the Patriots, although it's Thursday night game. Bill Belichick, you never know.
Right.
Um, but that's going to be a tough game. And then, I mean, the Cowboys now coming off of a loss versus the Packers and
Yeah.
us kind of being overvalued. That scares me. And then the Jets are no joke. Their
They're not.
defense is legit as hell.
Yep.
Um, so the good thing is they have going for them is all 3 of them are at home. So you got home field at US Bank, but the next 3 games will tell me a lot. But I'm
Yeah.
not 100% sold there yet. Uh, they could very well have the best record in the league this year and lose in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, that shit
Absolutely.
wouldn't surprise me. So none of this shit matters unless you actually are for real.
Right.
And as a Minnesota sports fan, you don't get excited until you know what I mean. We're always let down. We faced the Eagles in the NFC Championship. We got blown the fuck out after the Minnesota Miracle against the Saints.
Right.
It's just it. We never make it. The Wolves set records for blowing 30-point leads in an NBA playoff series. I mean, that's just the Minnesota way. The last time the Minnesota did anything was 87 and 91 when the Twins won the World Series when I was a little kid. So
Yeah. That's wild, man. That is wild. I think I think, it's interesting because the script is kind of flipped on the Vikings. Last year, they couldn't win a fucking game, and all of the damn games came down to the final 2 minutes. They
yeah,
lost so many games. I forget the specific number of what it was, but all in the last 2 minutes. And now they're just finding kooky ways to win, man. And, best record in the NFL right now, or tied for it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Well,
man.
I would say that their wins have been more impressive than the Eagles, because
I'd agree.
The Eagles have only beat two good teams. That was the
Mhm.
Cowboys versus Cooper Rush at quarterback, not impressive. And then that was against the Vikings in week 2. But the spot there was big because we did back the Vikings week 1 versus the Packers
Right.
as 5-unit play of the year or whatever. And then week 2, we pivoted and we pounded the Eagles for 4 units
Mhm.
because it was a terrible spot. The Vikings coming off a big, season win against and Cousins on primetime on the road, all that stuff. So it was a bad spot for the Vikings. So they've beaten two good teams. Other than that, they're beating teams like the Lions, the Texans, um, the Commanders twice now. Or
Yep.
actually, they lost to them last night, obviously, but the Commanders once, and a few other, shit teams. So I would say the Vikings wins have been more impressive.
I'd
So
agree.
that's for sure.
I'd agree, man. And I think that Patriots game you're talking about, isn't that Thanksgiving week? I believe it is. Thursday night.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice, dude. You
yeah.
going?
I don't know if I'll go to that one. Probably
Yeah.
the Cowboys and the Jets. Yeah.
Cool, man. I get you. Family time. Family time. We got Cody in the house. What up, Code? How you doing,
What's
buddy?
up, man? Skull, baby.
Yes, sir.
Speaking
Yes,
of
sir.
speaking of that, it's kind of funny when you go to different stadiums and they got all their different chants and shit. So in Arkansas, it's weird. They do this woo shit for
Hmm.
the Razorbacks, and it's just some of them are pretty fucking lame, and that one's really fucking lame. Like it's bad. It's bad. But
Whatever gets the people going, man. We got Beezy, if I'm saying that right, in the house. What up? Loving the
what,
picks. Loving the picks. Up 7K. Started with 350. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Good, good, good
appreciate it,
for
man.
you. We got Janimal, if I'm saying that right. Ready to make some
Janimal
racks.
Janimal Richardson and our guy McDade.
McDade. I want to say McDave every single time I see it. I always feel
Uh
flubbed up.
yeah, I mean it has been a weird 4 weeks. There's just the parity in the NFL it's crazy. I mean, any given team can win any given week.
Hmm.
We've seen that. I read a thing the other day. Had the Broncos just scored 18 points average in each of their games, they'd be 8-1, just scoring 18 points. Like, it's just weird, bizarre shit. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I think a lot of this shit is based on coaching, guys. That's why you see the Seattle Seahawks having success. They weren't supposed to do shit, but they
Yeah.
have Parcells at coach. The Giants coach, that Dable. That's why you see the Giants having success this year. They have a good coach, and that's exactly why you see the Raiders, McDaniels, not having success. The Broncos, Hackett, not having success.
Yeah.
Um, there's a couple other teams that have decent coaches that aren't doing as well, but that's for different reasons. Some of
Hmm.
these teams have the personnel and are just not competing, not winning games they should win, and a lot of it is coaching. Like
Yeah.
I'm starting to take that like into my cap quite a bit. Especially, I mean, we did it on a lot of these primetime games going against these shit coaches on short weeks because they have such bad records against the
Right.
spread on short weeks and stuff. But you got to look at that shit even on Sundays now. Um, it's coaching. Um,
Yeah. And as we get into the dog days of the season here, kind of middle
yeah,
of the year,
the
towards the end now.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even thought of that after that Ravens beat the Saints on that Monday night. You got the coach Harbaugh.
Yeah.
These better coaches, believe it or not, I think they make a difference. So
I agree, man. And speaking of the Ravens, I think the Ravens are
they're
legit, man.
legit.
They're
Yeah,
legit. I mean, I
I mean
have
they're
I have a
banged up and still winning games.
yep, and I personally have a future on them to win their division, which is looking good. Hopefully, they can hold on. But I think that they could be a sneaky team in the playoffs, man. I think
for sure.
everybody's looking at the Bills. Everybody's looking at the Chiefs. I think realistically, the Chiefs would beat the Bills right now. I really do, even though
Yeah.
the Bills got them. But I
Yeah.
think the Ravens can do something, man. Might be
The
worth a little
Chiefs are
sprinkle.
starting to roll now.
Yeah, they
They
are.
look better than they did at the beginning of the season. That's for
Mahomes
sure.
looks free as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just moving the ball around. He doesn't. I wouldn't say that they're better without Tyreek because Tyreek was such a
I think
defensive
they are.
nightmare. But I think Mahomes mentally might be freer without him out there. He
Yeah.
don't care who he throws the ball to. He really
Well,
doesn't.
he's got a handful of guys that can catch the ball, and that
He
makes it
does.
harder for the defense too. Where when you have a guy like Hill, they're doubling him and
Hmm.
you know changing up the coverage and stuff. But
Yeah. They got a ton of speed over there, man. A ton of speed. We got our guy Roger Mason in the house. What up? What up, Raj? Always good to see you in here.
Roger,
Are we going? Are we going to be staying
all right,
lower units for a while? Let's speak on this because we announced the
yeah,
Telegram
yeah, yeah.
announcement, but
So
we oughta.
here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. So maybe some of you haven't, you've been following me ever since within the last 8 months. So this is kind of the only way so to look a little different for you. There's still going to be 2 unit plays, 3 unit plays. There's still going to be occasional rare 4 and 5 unit plays. So how I built my following, if you don't know the backstory about me, I posted stuff on free pretty much on Instagram and some other apps, Book It, BetSperts and stuff when they were around and were bigger and stuff. Posted plays for free for over a year. I'm not exactly sure how long, but it was over a year. I posted stuff for free. That's how I built my following and how I kind of did stuff back then. Well, when I first started, everything was $500, and then my play of the day was $1,000. Obviously, I've been making money gambling since then and all that stuff. So I've upped my units, all that stuff. And then that's kind of when everything started to change because shit was so good for a while. Last year, 2 years ago, I made money. I wasn't documenting everything, so I can't tell you exactly how much, just to be honest with you. Last year, made 250 units. And then 2022 came around. 2022 came around. I quit my job in January. I had a partnership with the previous brand. It was not good. It was a toxic relationship with him and had to get out of it. So then we launched this brand in March. And then I'm on my own, which is just newer in general because even when I had this partner, I had to watch what I was posting because he might have shit on the other side. And it was just that was another aspect of why it was bad. Not
Mhm.
all of it, but that was just one of the reasons. um, but so that, and then we launched the brand in March, and then I've been kind of just changing shit on the fly here as we go, as you can see, and for a while there, just mentally, just busy. We were getting this shit up and running, and then just some shit going on, personally and shit like that. And then we ended up getting hot again. I think we did 90 units in 12 weeks,
Yep.
which was good. And then what did I do? I upped units and started throwing out these 10-unit plays, which at first we were hitting. And that's why we kept doing them because we got actually hit most of the beginning ones that we threw out,
Yeah.
which was huge. And it even led to a 60-unit week in week 3 or 4 of the NFL, something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, we had a 50, 60-unit day on a
Yeah.
Sunday. And then ever since then, started throwing out more of these, and then I lost ones like the Bucks, for example, that should have won. They got backdoored by the Falcons. They led and covered the entire game, got backdoored. And then the Vikings, Dolphins is another example. 500 yards to 250, the Waddle fumble at the end, blah, blah, blah. A game the Vikings had no business winning, but they did. That TCU game that I personally put $35,000 on, up big at half. Both their starting quarterback, the first and second string quarterback, get hurt. They're left with a freshman quarterback who can't do a damn thing. We lose that one in the second half. Um, just because they couldn't score a single point in the second half after putting up like 28 in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's where all the damage has come from lately, guys, is all those bigger plays, to be honest with you. But what's been happening here the last few days, and that's why you probably see me ranting on there, is because you don't know me, but I am so passionate about what I do, and all I care about is VIPs. And that's it. It might not seem that way, but that is what I care about, is you guys. And here's what's been happening lately. I didn't even post all the leans that I did on Sunday or yesterday. All right. Mike knows how I would have done an NBA and college basketball yesterday had we been doing this system. So this system,
Yep.
mainly 1 to 3 units, occasional 4. Like I'll have a 2 to 3 unit college basketball play of the day today. Maybe an NBA play of the day. We'll see. There's still going to be, not everything's going to be 1 unit. There's still going to be 2 to 3 unit plays of the day, occasional 4 and 5 unit plays, stuff like that. So not everything's going to be 1 unit. However, like yesterday, no joke, Mike can to attest to this.
Mm-hmm.
Between NBA and college basketball, had I been playing more stuff that I like, we would have went 9-2 yesterday between college basketball and NBA, and that shit's no joke. He can attest to it because I always talk plays with him.
Always.
So that happened. The day before that, I didn't post the Kings because I didn't want too much out there. We had a bad beat on the Bills. Then we ended up having a bad beat on the Kraken. I didn't post the Sacramento Kings. We hit that. I also liked the Bears over, which these were posted as leans. The Packers, the Colts over, the Bucks. So there's 5 more plays. You see what I'm going with this. So the frustration for me has been that I've been hitting actually, and I've been betting these personally. So there's been days where I've made money and VIP has not. And I'm done with that shit, man. If I'm playing it, I'm posting it. It might not be for, 2 to 3 units like everything used to be. But there's a lot of shit that I play for a unit that I'm not getting credit for. And it's over, man. So now you got me. If I'm betting it, whatever I have in action, you guys are riding with me on. All right. No more of this lean shit. Pretty much everything's gonna be a play if I like it. So now some days there might be 3-unit play and 2 2-unit plays. Some days there might be 8 1-unit plays, a 2-unit play, a 3-unit play. It depends on the slate, guys. Depends how much I like, what I like, all that stuff. But I can guarantee you, and we'll even track the results separately here since today to prove the point.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that have been with me a long time, I mean, I used to be a lot higher volume, and I've tried changing my style to that. That's the problem, guys. Like yesterday, I had 3-4 college basketball plays that I liked. What do? I pick the one and post the one that loses, but the other 3 hit. Hell no. Done with that shit.
Yep.
So, and we lost. That was another bad beat, but that's whatever. But yeah. And that's the thing. That's why I've been complaining about these bad beats and shit too, guys, is because guess what? Like when you're only doing 4 plays and shit like that, you got to hit them, right? So when I have 4 college basketball plays potentially that I could have done 1 unit a piece and went 3-1 and made 2 units versus lose 2.4, that's a 4-unit swing right there that we just cost ourselves. Same thing in, look, we went 2-0 in NBA yesterday, but there's a lot of other NBA that I would have posted for a unit and we would have made more money. We would have had a green day yesterday. And Sunday would have been a lot better too. So
yeah,
that's it. It's not that it's a 1-unit play. I'm not confident in it. That's not it at all. At the end of the day, we're here to make money. And there's a lot of days where I've actually made a little bit of money playing this shit. And you guys haven't. And that's not what you're paying me for. So it's time that, get back to my old style here. And so this is really nothing new to me. It might be new to you. It's not nothing new to me. This is what got me where I am today. So I know the shit works, and just tracking stuff for the last months and months and months. I don't know why it took so long for me to figure out. He finally just fucking pretty much slapped me in the face yesterday and said, "Here, look, here's the fucking deal." So
I did.
He's been trying to tell me for a while, and I don't know. But I'm done being frustrated. I feel like Mahomes now. I'm fucking free. I'm done slinging, and we're gonna make some fucking money.
Let's
So,
do it, baby.
and there's
Let's
no
do it.
more ranting and bitching because I'm gonna play everything that I like. So there's
Yep.
no more ranting because fuck, I went 3-1, and the one I posted was the loser, and I hit the others. Nah, we're gonna go 3-1 now. So
Yep.
that's the deal there.
Well,
So
here's also a thing too, is we were talking about, how if you actually do get beat and you get beat bad, you can learn from it. And a lot of these plays have been bad beats, or they've been, a fumble with a couple seconds left on the clock, with the Bills. I mean, like what do
Kraken
you
lead the whole game,
learn
4
from that?
seconds left, and a
You
shit
don't
goal.
learn from that. So the thing is just about having all of your full card out there, playing it, what people paying you for, back to the roots. If we get beat, at least you'll learn from it. And at least everybody will know, hey, we got beat. It's no more of, well, I posted this, but I hit these two things. It's just, one, it's not fair to you, Mike. And that's kind of why I needed to slap you in the face a little bit last night. And, it's not fair to everybody else because, if you're making money, yeah, you could say that in a telegram, but if I'm a paying client, I'm like, well, I don't fucking care. And that's just,
Yeah,
and that as well.
yeah.
So, it's just about everybody just being on the same page, and people are paying you to be you. You're Midwest Mike, and that's why everybody's on here, and that's why we do what we do, and this whole brand exists. So I'm excited for it.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
excited to
excited,
get
man.
back to the roots and giddy up.
And I don't spend 4 hours a day now trying to select which play to post. I'm just posting it
Yeah.
all. So
I text you
trust
that.
me,
I go, I bet you spend at least 4 to 5 hours a day fucking just choosing what the
dude.
hell to do.
I got 5 plays posted already.
Yeah.
Granted, they're all 1 unit plays, but and that's the thing too, guys. Don't look at it like, oh my god, there's so many plays. I got 5 plays posted. That's 5 units, guys. That's the same as one 3 unit play and one
Right.
2 unit play. So it's the same thing as 2 plays like normal. So
Yep.
it's not just you got to just trust me here. I am just a higher volume guy, and that is when I have my most success. And it's actually going to help out the parlays too, versus
Hmm.
trying to cram the 4 or 5 plays into most of the parlays with some of the leans and shit. It's going to help out just everything. Just you just got to trust me, and I'll prove it to you here over time. Um,
Absolutely, man. And
and
I,
and you're
go
not going
ahead.
to have these big downswings, when you like for example on Sunday. That wouldn't have happened had I
Right.
had 10 plays on Sunday, had a 3 unit play, a 2 unit play, and 8 1 unit plays. I promise you that shit wouldn't have happened. We went it it eliminates all that. It's just better for everything. When you are off, it's not going to be that bad.
Right.
Because typically you're never going to go 0-10, for example. Obviously it could happen, but it's not going to happen.
Right.
So like even going 5-5, guys, guess what? It's really not a bad day. You hit a couple parlays and you actually finish in the green. We
Right.
go 8-2 and hit some parlays. We can still have those big double digit days.
Yep.
So it's all just the structure of the card, all that stuff. But
Yep.
just we'll we'll prove it to you. So
Absolutely, man. And like we were talking about, there's no one set style. There's no one set thing. I think for Mike, just me being, his right hand man here, me noticing him, he over the last couple of months has been kind of controlled mentally, because he's trying to pick the right spots, and he's pressing. He's worried about people's bankrolls, and he's worried about everybody. And I think that it's really big, and I really encourage everybody to. And everybody's been really awesome about it and supportive. But just get on board and just really accept this, because this is who Mike is, and this is why you guys pay him to do what he does. And this not new style, but back to his old root style is going to be mentally freeing. And there's no one set style. Maybe one day there will be, like it has been, 1 5 U, 1 4 U, 1 1 U. That's it. That's the card. There's 3 plays right there. And that could happen. It just depends on the slate, and it depends on what the day brings. And it's nice, I think. And that's why we had to have our talk, and we talk every day, every night, almost every minute. I mean, it's why we needed to just kind of just break it down and get down with it, because it's just about being mentally free. This is an art at the end of the day. And you need to be free with the arts, and you need to be free flowing with it. And that's how it's going to be from now on. And if we do get beat, we get beat. And if we win, we'll win. And that's how it's going to be. But I think that this system is setting us up to win a whole hell of a lot more than you
Oh, bro,
constraining it.
I have no idea how excited I am, dude.
So
And just fucking
everybody will see, and it's good that we talk about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If anybody
yeah.
has any further questions, please post them in the chat. We can
If
clarify anything for you.
like Jay said, if you don't like a play, don't take it. I'm just you're paying me to know what I'm on, and here's what I'm on. That's what I'm taking, and that's how much I'm taking it for.
Yep.
There's not any more. Hey, are you putting extra on this or that? If I am on a game, I'll let you know. But unless I say that, there's not. So if you want to put 5 units on a 2-unit play of the day today, that's on you. I'm only playing it for 2. So,
Yeah.
and then also you got an email in today saying, well, what am I supposed to do? The line's moved. You posted this at 3 a.m. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't care. I'm gonna be posting shit. I said it last night. I'm gonna be posting shit earlier. This is exactly how I used to do stuff before we launched this brand, and I had a lot of success doing it. And yeah, I post stuff early to get the best lines on college basketball sometimes, to get the best lines on NHL. There's lots of times last year I got a minus 140 money line that was minus 220 that closed because I got it in early.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the lines you'll get, some you'll miss. I'd still encourage you to play everything, especially on these 1-unit plays. If the line moves 2 points, I'd still play it. And just like I put on that one total today, it's good up to 2 points higher than what I even got it at. So it's a 1-unit play, and if you don't want to take it, don't take it.
Right.
But there's going to be plays coming pretty much at all hours. It's just when I like something, and if I feel the line could move or something, I'm posting it. So I'm not gonna sit here and wait till 5 o'clock every day to post my card, because I'm literally been here for 6 hours straight trying to figure, should I play this play or this play, because that's all I've been doing from noon till 5 till I actually post the shit, is trying to figure out which one to play.
Yep.
Fuck that. Literally, you guys have no clue. No
Amen.
idea.
Amen, man. Amen.
And a
And
lot of times you feel the same about them, guys. Honestly, you can't. You
yeah.
might as well just fucking flip a coin. Like yesterday, Texas Tech and that UCLA over. That one I probably did like UCLA over a little bit more, but I liked both of those the best. I mean, we also hit the IUPUI under as well, and Penn State that I would have had out there -5. They won by 6. So some days it's tougher than others, obviously, but.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the frustrating part. Yesterday, I also had 2 NHL looks: the Flames in regulation -109 and the Blackhawks +1.5. So what do you think happened? Played the Blackhawks, lost the Flames. Well, we did cash the Flames in a bunch of parlays and stuff, which helped us out, which was good.
Yeah.
But the reason I held back on the Flames yesterday, because I could only have one NHL spot to keep it within 5 plays, right? Because I'm trying to be handcuffed here. I'm handcuffing myself. You guys aren't doing it. I'm doing it to myself. But the Flames win in regulation, and I was just hesitant because we've had some bad beats in regulation,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the Flames blowing leads and stuff. So that's why I was hesitant on posting it. But had we done the system yesterday, we would have went 1-1 on NHL and just been down a quarter unit juice or whatever it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just trust me. It's the next few days, I think you'll see. I'm really
Sure.
honestly, I'm really excited for the weekends with football, man.
Yeah.
Because I know everyone's been down on. I mean, Saturday, another great example. I only posted 2 plays. We made money in college. Hit the Arkansas play of the day. Lost the Mississippi State one, but we hit a bunch of other leans. The
Mm-hmm.
Washington. I would have had a day in college football. I would have had a day on Sunday. Let's put it that way. So I know there's people down on the football and stuff right now, but I am excited for Saturday and Sunday with the new system to absolutely fucking crush it. And
Absolutely,
you
man.
probably will see a couple early plays. I'm gonna have a play on the side and the total on Thursday. I'll probably get that posted up here by tomorrow. Just keep watching the lines. And then I will have a few plays probably posted early for Sunday as well. There's already 3-4 spots I know I'm going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of locking it in at the right time. So if you are a daily buyer, you may want to consider doing at least a weekly just to get access to that early looks portal.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's going to be a lot more stuff posted earlier on here. So,
Yup. And to speak on the lines, guys, just make sure that you can, shop around some different books if you can. I know most of the legal books out there will allow you to buy different points. You might not have the same juice as Mike on some of the early spots if he's posting up at 4 a.m. at his vampire hours. But, if you wake up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, which most people are up at that time, odds are you're going to be pretty damn close. And if you do get yourself a book that you can buy points and maneuver shit around, you should be able to still get the lines. So just wanted to touch on that.
yeah, and I'll try to do a good job like I did on that one play. I think it was a half point lower when I posted it than what the line was. So you still should be able to get that same that line that I said play that NBA total up to. That shouldn't have been a problem there. So
Mm-hmm. Amen. We got Michael Hill in the house. What up, Mike? How you doing, buddy?
what's up, bro?
Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Francisco, our guy. Good afternoon, my man. Good afternoon.
Francisco, I think from Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
Australia, yeah, I think he was in London for a while, and then now he moved to Australia. I
Or was
think
it London the whole time?
it,
It's London. God
it might
damn
have
it.
been London.
Why do I think
There it is.
Australia?
I don't know. Maybe he was visiting Australia one time. I remember him putting some about
He's probably
Australia.
never been to Australia, dude.
No, we're just making. But I remember, man, that was
I
my
know
London guy.
there's a time zone difference for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
London. Hey,
Absolutely.
so Francisco, you ever go to any NFL games out there?
Yeah. The only place the Jacksonville Jaguars can win a game.
Yeah. No joke.
All right, so NFL Week 11 here. We got the Packers on Thursday night.
Yeah.
That should be pretty good. Is
I
Aaron Rodgers back? Is
Well,
Watson the real deal? Are they going to get Dobbs back? A lot of questions.
let me pull something up here. You can keep talking for the moment.
Aaron
I'm going to.
Jones, he had an ankle injury. My dumbass sat him in fantasy. It didn't matter. I still won, blew the team out, but I wish I could have played him. He had about 24 points. Look good. A.J. Dillon moving the ball. I mean, is the Packers the same situation as the Buccaneers? The Buccaneers got that big emotional win against the Rams. The Rams beat them in the playoffs. The Rams went on to win the Super Bowl. Buccaneers got them back. They got the revenge. The Rams look like shit. But Buccaneers got that emotional win. Now they came out and they won in Germany. Pretty cool game over there. Tom looked good. Julio looked good. Chris Godwin starting to get that pizzazz back. I mean, he's been laboring out there. He's still effective. I mean, he's still crafty, but he has lost a little bit of burst over the middle, and he's starting to kind of find that back. Mike Evans doing his thing. And for the heavens above, thank you. The Buccaneers finally ran the fucking ball, and this fucking line finally got some push. Thank you. For once.
Yeah.
White looked good. Lenny looking good. Is this the same thing with the Packers? Are the Packers going to run the table again? They could.
I mean, I'll talk about it. I like the Packers in the under here. The under should be pretty self-explanatory. I mean, both these offenses. Packers did a little bit more last week in the fourth quarter. Down 14 and then scored 14 to tie it. Went by 3 in overtime. Interesting stat though. The Cowboys were 195-0 straight up when leading by 14 plus going into the fourth quarter in franchise history. So out of 196 games, that was the first one they've lost by leading by 14 plus in the fourth quarter. Pretty crazy stat.
Let McCarthy be the one to get the loss.
Right.
Fucking guy.
And his homecoming to the Packers, right?
I love it. When he threw that headset, I fucking went nuts.
Well,
I can't stand that bastard.
They're fortunate on that fourth down. They did what they did and all that stuff. It could have worked out differently. But when you look at the Packers' losses, they blew double-digit leads versus both the Giants in London and the Commanders. So I don't think the Packers they ain't good, but I don't think they're as bad as this is being priced out at. I mean, you're getting the Packers on a short week at home is definitely going to favor them. Back to the whole coaching thing that we were talking about earlier, Vrabel's a great coach. So I like that aspect. But the Packers got a good coach too.
LaFleur's good, man.
Yeah, he's good. But I think this is probably the win that the Packers needed just to get something going. I know the number's 3. You know, I'd play it at 2.5, but I like the Packers here, man. Let's look at. Let me. I mean, I like the under for obvious reasons. Tennessee has no passing game. Let's just be real. They were going to run the ball a lot with Henry. They only mustered up, I think, 63 yards last week, rushing yards. So they haven't been consistent running the ball every week very well. So that's going to chew clock. And let's face it, the Packers, that's what they have too, is their running game. They ain't got much of a passing game unless they have to try. And then that's when they've been screwing up, making mistakes. So I see both sides running the ball a ton, which obviously chews clock, leads to the under. We got snow here in Minnesota. I know they got snow in Green Bay. It's cold.
Got snow here in Chicago.
It's going to be 15, 20 degrees. So it's definitely going to work towards Green Bay's favor there in the cold weather. So they're going to have a home field advantage. That's for sure. It's going to be 15, probably 10, 15 degrees at kickoff. So you got that going. But my point is the spread's, I think, a little bit off because Green Bay has had double-digit leads. They've blown them. They've found ways to lose this game. Both teams coming in on a short week. I just think that favors the home team here in the cold weather with the home advantage. But yeah, Tennessee, they beat Denver 17-10. They lost to KC, which if that was another, okay, let's look at that KC game. That was another one that, you know, it wasn't a bad beat or anything like that. I've just never seen a game go into overtime with this big of a discrepancy. Check this out. You want to see the yards for that game? Tennessee had 229 to Kansas City's 499. So they more than doubled the yardage. Kansas City had 500 yards. Tennessee had 229, and that game went into overtime. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
No.
I'm not talking, win, lose, whatever. I'm saying a game going to overtime when you have the Chiefs 500 yards to their 220, and I'm talking 5.5 yards per play to 4.8, 5.86 yards per attempt rushing compared to 3. I mean, they dominated them in every aspect. They just had, they only even had one turnover. And time of possession, 41 minutes to 26 minutes. How the fuck does that game go into overtime?
NFL, baby. There's your variance.
It's weird shit, man. You look at who Tennessee's played and beat. They beat Denver by 7 at home. So what? Before that, you beat the Texans by 7, 17-10. Not impressive. The Colts 19-10. Commanders 21-17. Vegas 24-22. Vegas sucks. The Colts again, and then you lost to Buffalo and the Giants and KC. So really, Tennessee's only beaten Denver, Houston, the Colts twice, the Commanders, and the Raiders. All not so good teams. They haven't beat a team with a winning record. And you lost to the Bills and Giants, both teams with winning records.
They got blown out against the Bills, yeah. Big.
And then you look at Green Bay. They beat Dallas. They beat New England. They beat Tampa Bay. Those are 3 somewhat impressive wins.
Right.
Beat Chicago. And then you lost to Minnesota, who's legit. The Giants, who are legit. The Jets, who are legit. Buffalo, who's legit. and then you lost to Detroit and Washington, which conference, divisional games, anything can happen. But Green Bay's wins are a lot more impressive. Their losses are against much better teams. Tennessee, I think, is a little overrated, in my opinion. And now coming in on the road on a short week, personally, I'm rolling with the Packers in the under. So
I love it, man. I also see Tennessee 7-2 ATS, Packers 4-6. Always like to look for some regression ATS once these teams start going on a crazy run.
And the under guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's hitting 6 straight for Tennessee. And 3 out of the last 5, in the Packers games, but the ones that have gone over, were the Washington went over just barely, and then obviously the Dallas one here from the weekend, and that's it. So the Buffalo one stayed under, the Detroit one stayed way under, the Jets one stayed way under. And Tennessee's got to, both teams got decent defenses.
They do.
And both teams run the ball a lot. So I love the spot for the under. If you want to, you could tease Green Bay to, I think, 4 right now, +4 and the under, if you want to play it that way too. But personally, I probably going to play this one like I did the Panthers and play both side and the under just separately as straight bets, because I like both. And the reason why I did it that week is because I did like both, and versus doing, say, 1 3-unit teaser, we made 6 units on that game because I had the Panthers for 3 play of the day, and then the total for 3. So we made 6 units versus making 3 on 1 teaser. So that's why I did it that way. So I was off yesterday on the Commanders. I did like Washington a lot yesterday. I did. But the one thing I was concerned about is them scoring the ball. I did not see the Eagles defense. I don't think we had a punt until the 4th quarter. I did not see, my main play yesterday was the under. That's what I liked the best. And then, hindsight, which it didn't even matter because that garbage touchdown at the end, which would have been a terrible fucking beat. So I'm
could
glad.
You imagine that? Having the Commanders in a teaser and the under?
Yeah. And I know a lot of people did.
Oh, God, yeah, man.
That's a terrible beat, man.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
People lost and didn't even think about this. I saw it on Twitter earlier this morning. People lost fantasy matchups because Devontae Smith was the one who fumbled because he threw it backwards. So that's -2 or whatever. So many people were probably affected by that one dumb play. But I'm with you, man. I like the Packers there. And I think a lot of it also has to do with just, do you think that was a turning point for the Packers, or was it just a fluke and they were running on pure emotion?
Well,
I think they're a better team than 4-6. I really do. When you're losing confidence, man, the preparation, the week gets harder, everything gets harder, man. And, they drop some bad games. They're not who they used to be.
Mentally, it's what they needed. Rodgers has even talked about it in press conferences, just saying, talking about that win and all that stuff. And that's sometimes what can spark a little rally. So Packers definitely a team to watch out for. Do I think they're great? Do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? Hell no. But they are an upset team that could beat a good team on any given week. Definitely. We just saw that this past week. And they do hold a home field advantage. They do. Probably one of the better ones out there. So outside in the cold, snow, sleet, whatever it's doing, it's a tough place to play. And I even noticed that when I was at this LSU Arkansas game. LSU had chicken broth on the sideline. Like, all these guys are freezing, and it was like 35, 40 degrees. It's
not
like,
used to it, man.
No, they're not.
Can't prepare for it.
No.
What are you going to do?
I guess
it was refrigerator.
It was abnormally cold, I guess, for Arkansas as well. But still, like, it's a home field advantage. So
absolutely, man. I think last thing on it, I think it was nice to see Rodgers' emotion be accepting of these younger guys, maybe for the first time this season. Yes, Watson did finally perform, but Rodgers had a little bit of his old swagger back. He was smiling out there. He was pumped up. He was accepting these guys where, beginning of the season, I think Rodgers was being his normal pissy self, pissed off at the organization that no one got him a receiver, and rightfully so. I mean, you signed Sammy Watkins, who is a walking hamstring injury or groin. And, it was nice to see that. And I think when Rodgers is rolling and the mojo's flowing, I agree. I think that they could be a team that could upset anybody any given week.
What do you think Devontae Adams is thinking right about now?
Dude, he's getting paid, man. He's with his college buddy. I don't know if he cares.
Did you hear yesterday? I don't know how he's not fired yet, McDaniels. I don't know how. And the Raiders owner came out and said he's doing a fantastic job.
The rings, man. He's got Belichick's backing, and he's got all the rings with the Patriots. He's an offensive coordinator at the end of the day. He failed once. He's going to fail again. He's not a head coach. He's not.
Terrible.
He's a quarterback guy. He's a guy that sits in the quarterback room, and he's great at what he does. The Raiders should not be this bad. This is a joke.
Dude, 2 weeks ago when we were on them, they're up. They scored, 14, 17 points in the first half and then scored nothing in the second half to lose the game?
It's disgusting.
Staley's another one that I'm not a fan of, the Chargers.
They should be better, but they are hurt. Yeah. They are hurt.
Yeah, big time. And they got the Chiefs this week. I had a bigger play on that game as well. So
7. Line 7.
That and the total too is very, very interesting. I think it's at 50 last time I checked.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that's Sunday night.
So. Really, really nice slate of NFL this week. Vikings playing the Cowboys. Dallas -1. Now that's a kooky line. Wow.
What do you think that's telling you? The Vikings a little overrated, man, and Cowboys coming off of a loss. I'm telling you, man, there's going to be spots to go against the Vikings.
Sure.
But at the same time, at home, they could definitely beat the Cowboys. So that's one got to do some working on. Sunday night, definitely have a big play. And then that Bengals Pittsburgh game, I love the side and total in that game as well. And then the Eagles-Colts game. There's something I like there. And then the Washington-Houston game. There's a side that I like there. So we're gonna have it'll be a nice card this weekend. I'm excited for it. So
beautiful. Jay, he threw 50 on the Commanders' money line.
And get this, guys. I'm happy you said that because we're gonna be doing more stuff like that too. Even if there's an NBA with this system now, if there's a 6-point dog in NBA that I like to win outright, we might sprinkle a half unit on the money line. Fuck it, why not? We can do stuff like that. So watch out for that type of stuff too, because we're definitely gonna be doing that. So if we're on a dog in the NFL and I think they got a shot at winning, we'll be sprinkling some on the money line too.
Absolutely, man. I mean,
look at the Hawks. Let's have some fun with it. Let's make some money.
So. Yeah, I mean, look at the Hawks last night against the Bucks. Could have sprinkled a little bit on the plus money line, +4.
Yeah. You see the Suns cover, bro? Had Suns +2 and they lost by 1.
Yeah,
and we both like the over.
We both like the over. Yes, the Hornets was the best spot on the board, and we smacked it. And it was awesome.
Hornets should have been a 3-unit NBA play of the day.
Warriors.
I told you that right before it started. I said I should have fucking hammered this play.
You did. You did. We talked about it. Throw up a little graphic here. Little nice NBA run, 5-0, +12 units. NCAA basketball, 8-2, +11.45 units.
Keep it rolling.
Really nice on the court with the hoops. I keep telling Mike that the NBA is simply just the cash cow. We have something pretty fun planned up for like a NBA parlay of the day or whatever that we'll probably give out. I don't know if we're going to start that today or when we're going to start that, but that should be fun. We're going to have some fun with that. Anything you want to touch on NHL or NCAA basketball before we talk about the NBA quickly before we sign off here?
No, I mean, we got a big college basketball slate today. I do have a 2-unit play of the day that I'm likely going to be posting here right after the show. I just put it in right before the show, and then we started here. So 2-unit college basketball play of the day. There's going to be a couple other 1-unit spots. And then I already have a couple NHL posted. There is one other one that I'm looking at that I will likely be on. It's an in-regulation line. And then I actually have 2 college football plays. I have a total in one, a side and another posted. I do have an NBA posted. I'll likely have another NBA, maybe just 2 NBA today. It's a smaller slate. So as far as what he's talking about, this NBA parlay thing, that'll probably start tomorrow just because it's a smaller,
Bigger
weird slate.
Yep.
But at the same time, yesterday when I woke up, I didn't really love the slate, and then I ended up liking a shit ton of shit. So I still got a NBA. I kind of work last, to be honest with you, just with the NBA and how everything works, people being ruled out late and all that stuff. I just kind of wait for the day to kind of go on. I mean, I keep watching the lines throughout the day and stuff just to kind of know where everything started at, but I kind of leave that last. So,
I love it.
but
Man.
I do have
You
one
almost
play
have
posted.
to with the NBA.
Well, today I posted the play because it's a total and it's moving, and we got a good line on it. So, and it's still even moving more. So, and that play, that total just didn't make any fucking sense to me when you look at these 2 teams and what they've been scoring lately and everything. It's crazy, but yeah. I mean, couple college basketball coming for sure. Probably another NHL, another NBA, and that'll pretty much be the card. There will be for sure 1 play of the day, maybe 2. We'll see. And yeah, so NBA card. What do we got there? We got Memphis and New Orleans. I know that's a TNT game. That should be a good one. Zion is questionable, so I think the line kind of says that he is playing. At them
I would
being favored
agree.
by 3.5. I mean, I'd be shocked to see him out, but it is the NBA and anything can happen. But the line kind of tells me that Vegas thinks he's going to be playing. The Clippers and Mavs, I don't know. What was the thing I read? The Clippers have failed to score like 102, 103 points in 2 of their last 3 on 0 days rest or something. So and also the Mavs though have been shit at home. They've been terrible against the spread at home. I think they're like 0-6 or some shit. I don't know. Don't know about that one. And John Wall is questionable. He's likely out. He missed last night's game as well. That game, as of right now, is probably a pass for me. The Knicks Jazz is interesting.
Very.
Jazz favored by 4.5, and the Jazz are starting to regress a little bit. They've lost 2 straight now to Washington and Philly, and they've had some of the worst offensive numbers in those 2 games over the last 2 games. So it's small sample size, but the point is they're starting to regress. I talked about them before hitting a shit ton of threes at an unbelievable clip with a bunch of fucking no-name guys.
I love them.
But the shit's gonna come to an end at some point. You're not gonna have that old Nick shooting fucking 60% from deep every single game. It's not gonna happen. So it'll be interesting. It's an interesting game.
It is.
Nick's getting 4.5 points.
Talks of Tibbs being on the outs in New York. I was reading that this morning that people are calling for his head, man. They do not like him over there. I mean,
I didn't like him here either.
To me, line says Utah. I mean, I believe it's on the Jazz here. You know, the Knicks are up and down. I mean, they're literally last 5 games, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Utah was on the road, coming back home. You know, that first game home on a little home stretch. It's only 2 games, but they have the Suns next. I don't know if the Jazz are good enough to look ahead.
Yeah.
Potential flat spot, first game home back after 2 road games. I don't think so. I think they're going to be up for it. I don't know. Personally, I'd lean Jazz, but that's just me.
Yep.
That's just me. John Moore, newly yearly VIP. Excited for the format. Let's get these units, baby.
Hell yeah, John. Appreciate you, brother. And
Welcome.
yes, we will.
Welcome. Portland Portland Spurs. Interesting line there. Portland -8.
Yeah, well, Trey Jones might be out again. He was out again last night, which last night the Warriors was another spot we talked about. That line opened at 7.5, got bet up to I think 9. Trey Jones was out. All the money was on the Spurs. The line was reversing like a motherfucker. The line screamed Warriors. I had Warriors and parlays and shit, but
right.
I'm just excited for this new format, guys, because we would have been on so much shit. So I'm excited just to fucking get the shit going. But yeah, I San Antonio's starting to come back down to earth, and when they're losing, bro, they're okay. They just lost by 37 to Golden State. They beat the Bucks without half their fucking team. I don't care about that. But they lost to Memphis by 2, Denver by 6, and then Denver by 25, Clippers by 7, Toronto by 43. They're either in it and winning, or they're getting blown out by 40. It's a back-to-back for them. They played Golden State last night. Portland's coming off of a 5-point loss to the Mavs, and Portland won the 3 before that on the road, actually. Miami on the road, Charlotte on the road, and the Pelicans on the road. So
they're coming home from a massive road trip.
Six game road trip. So they haven't been home since November 1st.
Now there's the flat spot I'm looking at. Potential. Haven't been home in a while. The wife and the girlfriends are flocking.
Let me see where the money's at on
the
this.
Kids are crying. You know? They're distracted a little bit. I know it's the Spurs, man, but this is classic NBA.
No,
the team gets blown out. It's on a back-to-back. Everybody thinks, oh, God, line's on Portland. They're going to smack the shit out of them. Not saying that they won't win.
No, I was hoping all the money was going to be on the Spurs, but it's not. It's all on Portland. So.
I love it. Sign me the fuck up. I love it.
That's one that I'll probably stay away from personally, but
I love it.
Oh yeah. The Kings Brooklyn game is probably the most interesting to me. Wow, and that money flipped. So last night the Kings were getting all the money when I looked at the shit last night, and now Brooklyn's getting all the money. Interesting.
The Nets believers are flocking, man.
Well, I've been on this Kings team now a lot.
You have.
I feel I got a pretty good read on them. I don't think I've lost betting the Kings yet. I want to say we had one push when we had a -3 in that game against the Magic that went into overtime. But
yeah,
I want to say 3-0-1 or 4-0-1 on the season betting on the Kings. So Pacers, another one that have been good to us. So
yeah,
it's an interesting game. Spread's still at 2. All the money now is on Brooklyn. That the total now 227.5. Damn,
going up,
moving.
You know, I feel like Brooklyn is. I feel like the distractions, they're starting to finally roll with it.
Oh, they are.
That's just me. You
know, I actually had that 3-unit play of the day on the Nets versus the Wizards, which was their first game after what happened. What was it? The Kyrie getting suspended, the coach getting fired, all that stuff. Right. And everyone thought that I was nuts for backing the Nets as a 3-unit play of the day. And they won by 30 or 40. So
yep.
Ever
Yep.
since that game, my point is that game was kind of the turning point for them. That's when
think so.
everything started. That's when it all started.
I think so. And you know what? I think they're a better team without Ben Simmons, and I think they're a better team without Kyrie Irving. I think that the fact that
Well,
Kyrie is not even in the building, it helps them. We're
so
done with this.
yeah.
Goodbye.
Well, they played without Irving, and so that game when I backed them, they're on the road. Irving didn't play in all the road games because of all the COVID shit, right? Until the end of the season. So they're used to playing without him. Curry didn't play at all last year, so they're used to playing without him too. And so we backed them there. So they won that game by 42 as 3-point dogs. Then the next game they beat Charlotte on the road. The next game they lost to Dallas by 2 as 6-point dogs. And then they beat the Knicks, the Clippers, and lost to the Lakers. So they're 4-2 since that game. Counting that game, that's when they're 4-2 and 5-1 against the spread since then. So
they're starting to turn it.
The Kings have covered. Holy shit! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're 9-2 in their last 11 against the spread. The Kings.
Typical NBA right there, man. And a team that people don't probably like to bet on.
I love the Kings.
Yeah. I mean, they're a good young squad.
It's like the Pacers.
Yeah. You know, the Nets, man, it's going to be an interesting slate. I mean, if I had to say right now, I know you don't like it, but I like the Spurs. It might be my spot of the day, personally.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that pretty much concludes the show today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, interacting with us, jumping in the chat. It truly means a lot. Share the show with your friends. Get other people to jump in the Telegram or chalkboard. Jump on the free plays.
I have another free play. We hit the Hornets free play yesterday. I'll have another one here today.
Yep. So. Get people in on what you also are doing. Build a community. Help us do that. Mike, any closing notes for you?
No, guys, we've talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but just excited the old format and confident in it. And you should be too, and you will be after a few days of doing it and seeing results and stuff here. So I'm excited. Just mentally, just everything. Just it's awesome. I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited for tonight, the first day. See how we do.
Yeah, so. Absolutely, my man. I'm excited as well. I know everybody else in here is excited, and everybody who's not in here is excited. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, invest wisely and live.